We're looking at motorsport in this hour where 19-year-old Leungo Gaorekwe is determined to reach the pinnacle of his sport, known by his racing mates as Lunatic. That's an interesting nickname. Gaorekwe is in his third season of the Ultimate 600 class in the motorcycle racing series and looks to take the next step in his career. He's but turned his thoughts to competing internationally, as one would, and will be racing in the CEV Championship that's happening in Spain in June. He's joining me now in studio to chat more about his motorsport career. Leungo, a very good morning to you. Thank you very much for coming through. I mean, 19 years old, where was I? I was in first year of college, trying to figure out if I want to start my career in advertising. I mean, you can tell that didn't really go well, right? Because I'm sitting here today. But you, on the other hand, are looking to dominate the world. You're looking to show the world how much of a lunatic you actually are. Why motorcycling?
So for me, I chose motorcycling because of the adrenaline that it gives me. You know, I really do enjoy riding bikes. I've been riding bikes since probably 5, 6 years old. And I'm really glad to be actually doing the sport because, like I said, the adrenaline rush is just amazing.
But how did you get introduced to motorsport? I mean, you know, a lot of Leungos out there will be looking at you and saying that, yeah, okay, riding a bike, okay, riding bicycle, you know, that's about as close to riding a bike for a lot of kids, unfortunately, in this country, that they will get close to. But at 5, you're already riding motorcycles. How did you get introduced to it?
So I've always liked high speeds, same like my dad, and it all started where he swapped the quad for a two-wheeler when I was about 8, and then when we moved to Joburg in 2013, we found a camp, Samurai camp, the NSFs. And we went 2013, 2014, and then 2014, that's when I started doing races there and then. And because my dad didn't really know much about anything because of where we come from, we kept in contact with Uncle Neil, and he'd tell us, yeah, come this time, because that's when the races are. And then just ever since that, I met Uncle Craig, and then skyrocketing from then on. Uncle Craig's just taken my riding to the next level.
And I mean, you talk about how your dad didn't really know much about anything, but nevertheless, he still supported a passion. He saw something in you at a very young age, and he thought, you know what, I could steer Leungo to go and become an accountant, a doctor. You know, the traditional careers that our parents, black parents, usually feel is where the money is at. But he stuck by you and this passion that you seemingly had when he saw you on a bike and probably your eyes just glistened, and he was like, my kid is going to be something in this, and he stuck by. How important has your father's support been in this?
Yeah, my dad, he's supported majorly. My dad and my mom, they've really been working hard to, you know, sustain, because we know that this sport is expensive. So the work that they're putting behind the scenes really has given me this opportunity to continue doing what I love. So, like, the support from both my parents is incredible.
And you talk about, you know, Uncle Craig as well, just essentially taking your career to another level. You know, you're part of King Price, obviously, which is essentially one of our resident, you know, guests on eNCA, especially with Nicole Kente, is Clint Seller, you know, and he's also somebody that has seen your talents, has seen that there is something that he can harness in you. Just the importance of them and their support and them being by your side, because with a talent like yours, people can see this as an opportunity to exploit, especially if your parents don't really know much about it. But your mentors have stuck by you to essentially create a superstar out of you. Their influence in your life and in your career.
So for me, King Price, I don't really look at them as a team. I look at them more as family, because they really, you know, their support as well has been major. I mean, they've given me this opportunity to showcase my talent and just embark on this journey with me. So really thanks and shout out to King Price.
You're here for a reason. I'm chatting to you for a reason, and the reason is that you've essentially been, you know, blazing the trails of South African motorsport. You are one of the youngest stars in motorcycling. Just talk to those who may not know anything about South African motorcycling, who maybe all they know is Brad Binder, because I mean, obviously Brad Binder's MotoGP. He's essentially the Lewis Hamilton for South Africa at this point on 2 wheels. What have you done so far that has essentially earned you, you know, the accolades and the recognition that you are now receiving? I mean, what has Leungo achieved so far?
So far, I don't wanna.
Blow your horn, my friend. Blow your horn. So you have the right to.
I have a couple of championships. I've won quite a few races, and I feel like it's all just a mentality game. So if you work on your mentality, like if you're strong in the mind, then I just feel like your performance will be strong. So that means training every day, sacrificing those little things that most kids won't do.
Yeah.
But because you want to see yourself for me example, I want to see myself on the MotoGP grid. So I'm gonna have to, sacrifice seeing my friends going clubbing and all that just so I can train and to better my performance on track.
Look, man, I will live vicariously through you. I'm not going to sacrifice clubbing. I'm going to resign myself to just being a broadcaster, which will allow me the opportunity to go out and go clubbing. So I'll live the life that you would be living, and you'll live the life that I would want to be living. But I mean, you talk about a lot of sacrifices. One of the things that parents fear you sacrificing is your education. If you're always training every day, if you're always focused on motorcycling, if you're only but fixated with being Brad Binder, being the next South African, being the first black South African motorcyclist on a MotoGP grid, where does education fit into this? How much attention do you pay to your school?
So I have to do obviously my parents did tell me that no, you have to meet these requirements if you still want to continue racing. Yeah. And which is so far what I've been doing. I'm doing A levels now, so it's not your traditional 8 to 2 o'clock, some days I don't have school, some days school's cut short. So keep them happy and they'll keep me happy.
You want to be on the MotoGP grid. That doesn't come lightly. You have to work. But also you need to understand that there's a lot of red tape in every industry. You've seen what Lewis Hamilton has gone through, where a lot of people feel like, essentially, especially in that sport, black people don't deserve to be here. This is not their sport. I would imagine there will be people that feel like Leungo Gaorekwe doesn't deserve to be in this sport. This is a predominantly white sport. How do you break those barriers? How do you show them that black kids can do it too?
So for me, I don't really take it personally. When I'm there in Spain, the team that treats me phenomenally, they don't see color. And so far I haven't embarked in any racist kind of things. So we'll see in future how I tackle those challenges.
What do you have coming up? I'm going to close our chat now just really quickly, but what do you have coming up? What can we look forward to?
So I'm going to Barcelona now in June. The race is mid-June, I think 19th and 18th. And yeah, really excited for that one, especially coming off my last race in Valencia where I ended off well. So we'll see what we can do in Barcelona.
You're going to win. That's what you're going to do. No pressure. Yeah? Yeah?
Thank you so much.
You're going to win. I need you to say, I'm going to win.
I'm going to win.
You're going to win, Leungo Gaorekwe. Thank you so much for coming through, my brother.
All
the best and congratulations with everything that you have done so far. That is essentially, I don't want to call him the next Brad Binder. He is the next Leungo Gaorekwe. He's a 19-year-old motorbike racing sensation who's been joining us just to chat about his career so far and what it is exactly that is coming up for him in his career. He's going over to Barcelona in Spain in June.